What is going on, guys? Craig 1287 here, bringing some Battlefield 4 gameplay. Gonna have a random round going on there in the background, just as a sort of backdrop. And the main purpose for this video today, it's actually not to talk about Battlefield 4, but actually another game that's going to be coming out on March 11th, and that is Titanfall. I'm pretty excited for this game. Vince Zampella, he's one of the main guys working on it, used to work on with the Infinity Ward back in some of the earlier days of Call of Duty, back when I really loved the series. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is still one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time, and I'm really looking forward to what they are going to be doing with this well, you can imagine be a series, but with this game, Titanfall. It is not going to be on the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4, but it is going to be on the PC, so that's why I'm excited about it. And I've actually got some good news for you Sony-only console guys that don't own a Xbox One. At least the minimum requirements have been released. Vince Zampella, he tweeted and posted what the minimum requirements are, and they are laughably easy to run. I'm just going to run down what he says. The minimum requirements are 64-bit Windows 7, 8, and 8.1, AMD Athlon X2 2.8 GHz, or Intel Core 2 Duo 2.4 GHz, 4 GB of RAM, 512, he says gigabyte, but I'm guessing he meant to say megabyte, 512 megabytes of video RAM. That would be a Radeon HD 4770 or a GeForce 8800 GT. So you console guys probably don't know what all that means if you don't pay attention to specific hardware components and things like that, but basically that is a pretty average build back in 2006. When I went out to college, I had a computer that ran a GeForce 8800 GTX, which is much more powerful than the 8800 GT. It was like the $600 card at the time, a real big flagship of a title, but still, that was 2006, and I had a computer that back then, if I still had it, hadn't given it away, would be able to run this game coming out in 2014, this AAA title that's going to be one of the biggest selling games of the year. Probably the most shocking thing in there is the 4 GB of RAM. That actually would have been not the most common thing back in 2006, but I think in my build I did have 4 gigs of RAM, but around that time 2 GB was still the standard for like a entry and mid-level, and even certain high-end builds had only 2 gigs of RAM. So that right there is a real simple build. I mean, the game's built using the Source engine. Obviously, they're going to make some alterations to it. And again, this is the minimum. So this is to be able to just simply run the game. We don't know exactly if you have that hardware, what that would equate to in your graphical fidelity, anti-aliasing, textures, shadows, lighting. What resolution this could mean at like 720. We don't know if this means 1080, 30 frames per second. But you can imagine that this would mean low to medium settings at 720 resolution at 30 frames per second. Probably what the consoles will kind of be getting. But still, that is shockingly low. That is like that's like 8-year-old hardware. And that's just for the bare minimum. So if you have a desktop that has like Intel HD 4000, like the graphics card built into the chip, you'd be perfectly fine. Something like a Microsoft Surface Pro 2, the tablet PC, that would be able to run this game amazingly, because that tablet can actually run Battlefield 4 at 35, slightly more frames on low to medium settings. So this game is going to run like a dream on the PC, assuming they've optimized it real well, but it's Source engine, that's primarily a PC engine. It's going to run real well. So for you guys that are on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, you guys actually could try this out. You know, don't pre-order it. Wait till the game releases. People have had some time to experiment with it. Wait for the beta to have come out, and people have experimented with it. And you probably will have a desktop computer, if it's been purchased in the last 5 years, be able to play this game pretty darn well. So that's some good news for you guys. And some fantastic news for people that have computers like me, a modern-day gaming computer. I'll probably be able to run this game completely and utterly maxed out with 32 times anti-aliasing, and a field of view of 90 plus, and still get like 200 frames per second. So that's really nice for us that do have 120 hertz monitors that can support stuff like that, and still have full visual fidelity and have that high quality of a frame rate. So that is some good news. Now the next thing I do want to talk about will apply to, well, it'll apply to more of you. This is going to be some stuff that benefits you, or the knowledge of this benefits you console guys that are not going to be playing this on PC. There was a tweet that confirmed that there are in fact going to only be 3 Titans in the game. I'm guessing, you know, technicality at the game launch, there might be some Titans down the line, as it's been out for a while, but Abby Hepp did confirm on Twitter that there are not more than 3 Titans. Nothing about future launches, just that was my speculation. So that seems like it's kind of a downer when like the 6v6 thing came out. People were getting up in arms that it wasn't more. I feel like 3 Titans is good for it to be balanced. That's one of my biggest problems with the Call of Duty franchise, is that they had to add so many kill streaks, so many perks, and levelable perks, and so many weapons, so many attachments, that it became impossible to balance that game. So 3 Titans, I feel, is just a solid amount to make sure that they are immensely balanced and that nothing gets OP, nothing gets underpowered, and so that's good news for me. It'll be interesting to see if they can come out with some stuff down the line, and they've had more time to balance that, and they've had all this time to look at how the players play the game and use that information to make a 4th or 5th Titan. But as for now, 3 at launch is good, to have a fast but weak, a slow but strong, and then a nice middle ground type of Titan. I think that's a real good solid setup. I'm glad they're doing that approach. Then, this is nothing really confirming, but Vince Zampella did respond to someone saying, somebody asked him if he was excited, if Vince was excited for the Titanfall launch as the public. Obviously, I mean, it's his career, but he said yes, but with a mixed with some fear. We want the launch to be as smooth as possible. Beta should help. And some people are reading into this way too much, that he and the fellow guys, the developers at Respawn, are scared about the launch. Or, I mean, any developer of any product is going to be scared, and that they want it to be as smooth as possible. I think he's just legitimately saying, this is our first game as this new group on these new consoles, or a new console. And so yeah, that's I'm just glad to see that he is straight up saying beta should help. He's putting a lot of faith in the beta. The beta ought to be coming out here in like mid-February, hopefully. That gives them plenty of time to make any changes till the 2nd week of March when the game actually launches. So yeah, I'm really glad that he is wanting this to be a legit beta. That's pretty much what I'm reading into that. And finally, someone did ask, are we going to be able to upload Titanfall beta onto YouTube when it comes out? To which Vince replied and said, should be, it won't be restricted like the alpha. So good news for you guys that do want to see some footage. I cannot wait to get my hands on the beta. It was also confirmed pretty recently that to gain access to the PC beta, you do not have to pre-order it on Origin or in any way. You don't have to pre-order it. So it is going to be an open beta, and therefore now just confirmed we can't upload videos, so I can't wait to get you guys some commentary out for that. Is it going to replace my Battlefield? Oh, heck no. I'm still a Battlefield player through and through, but you can probably expect quite a few videos for this game, assuming it does deliver on the quality and intense gameplay that I'm hoping that it does. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the gameplay going on there in the background. I hope you guys are looking forward to playing and seeing some gameplay for Titanfall. And if you guys are Sony dudes and you think you've got a computer that matches those minimum requirements, please comment below, and especially when the game comes out, let me know how the game and the beta handles for you guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed all of it. Have a good one. Ta-ta.